All right, we're going to start with the punch. FG plans supplementary budget over rising inflation and depreciation. Picture here, Nigerian-born Azubuike becomes U.S. Army general. UK remands 28-year-old Nigerian for stabbing mother to death. Lagos untouchable Agberos enjoy government backing, says driver. Actually, driver's president. ASU summons NEC meeting over half salary. Afenifere senior chiefs to settle Fashion and Adebanjo Rao. Emirates, more airlines may suspend Nigeria operations. Wike revokes Atiku campaign chairman slots. And Tinubu amends timetable just to host first rally. All right, which story? Who has a Wike story?
No, it's the news that, shook all the table. So, a Nigerian-born woman was actually born in the United Kingdom, in London. I don't know why the headline is like that, but we just like to claim our own. So,
and she's Nigerian now.
Yeah, she's of Nigerian descent.
Yes.
Okay, her name is Amanda Azubuike from. She was promoted from a lieutenant colonel position to a brigadier general in the military in the US, and this, of course, has caused Nigerians everywhere to talk about how we're proud of what she has done and all of that. I'm super excited that we have our names in great places around the world. It's something to bring pride, but I also hope it also inspires that's confidence in her at home here for us to to support homegrown as well, for people to go places even within this country. But she's female and she's of African descent, she's of Nigerian descent. So many of things that should inspire greatness in people around.
It's not a hot topic, but I'm really considering when you're of Nigerian, how Nigerian are you if you're born in the UK, raised in the US, work with the US, But it's good. By blood, shall we accept it?
How old?
No, that's what I'm saying. How Nigerian are you if all that you are is of Nigerian descent? You were born.
How American are you if you're also of American, of British, of UK, of European descent? Because the forefathers who came, it's the same thing. Well, they're all.
We need to just know.
Everybody's an immigrant in America.
Anyway, so we have this shocking story on the other side of being Nigerian, born and living abroad. So this Nigerian man, a 28-year-old Nicolas Aina, he's been arraigned for stabbing his mother to death, a 64-year-old mom. She said on the report is that on this particular day, she heard screams from her daughter's room. And she goes and she finds her 28-year-old son repeatedly stabbing his 33-year-old sister. And when he saw her, he lunged at her with a knife and ran away. She died immediately, but the sister was taken to hospital and was being treated for stab wounds. So he's been arraigned, and the neighbors, everybody's saying that it's really shocking. They heard all the commotion. I wish we could find out, more details. What led to this? What state of mind? Is this drug-related? Things like that. But
so, Afenifere, let me take the story. The leaders of the Apex Yoruba Social Cultural Group, Afenifere, are putting together a 4-man committee comprising of the former secretary to the government of the Federation, that's Chief Olufalaye. Also, the Senator Femi Okurumu, that's the ex-Minister of Communications, Chief Cornelius Adebayo, and the Afenifere Secretary General Bashorun Seyinde Arogbofa. They're all coming together, and they are coming to have a meeting with the leader, Pa Ayo Adebanjo, and also Pa Fashion concerning the rift that happened between both leaders. Although Pa Fashion did say that he never said that Adebanjo was not the leader, that he is the leader, he's the acting leader of the Afenifere. But they're having a meeting, according to the National Organizing Secretary, that's Kole Omololu, confirmed the meeting. However, the former Deputy Governor of Lagos State, that's Senator Koforola Bokno-Akerele, said that she's not aware of any meeting coming up in Akure, but they're hoping that when the leaders do come together, they can hopefully settle the rift between both leaders.
So once again, Emirates has suspended its flights from Nigeria, and the reason for that is purely economical, because they've been having issues with getting CBN to release their funds. They have money stuck here, and they said that they have given CBN options to get their monies out, and that CBN has blocked access for them to get their funds. And even though CBN has made promissory notes of how much they would be releasing, there is no timeline and there's no long-term solution, which means that even if they release this current backlog, the future flights being booked from Nigeria on Emirates. There's no plan on how they'll be paying back the money. The association of the representative of the Association of Foreign Airlines in Nigeria, Kingsley Nwokoma, said that Emirates is just the first. Several others are going to also back out because they have so much money in stock. Said many countries are struggling with paying repatriating funds, but Nigeria ranks highest. They should check the IATA figures, and no airline wants to run at a loss where flights are being booked from a country and they cannot take their profits from that country out of the country.
Is it because there's no dollar? And it's because Nigerians are hiding their dollars in their houses? Because they just found $610,000 in somebody's house. And somebody was saying that they found from the CIA or somebody's office.
Oh, yes.
$42 million or $48 million. I mean, so are we holding dollars somewhere and then we don't have money?
Well, we have a dollar trade deficit. Official dollar is not coming in, and the one around is not circulating.
Exactly.
So,
also, because it's the best way to save value. Naira is no longer, we're not exchanging Naira internationally. Then we exchange dollar, but the only thing, mineral resource that we exchange doesn't even bring in the currency.
Okay, let's move on quickly now to Daily Sun. 2023 polls, INEC puts Rex on watch list. Kanu asks Supreme Court to quash stay of execution order. 2023, Okowa explains why Tinubu Obi can't rescue Nigeria, insists on Atiku. I have failed as Minister of Education, says Adamu. I'd love to read that story. With me as president, you get what is due to you, says Tinubu to Kogi people. Making Obi president, not a tea party, says Adebanjo. PDP crisis, I have moved on, Atiku insists, I won't resign. Okay, which story are we starting with? Adamu, yes, so Minister of
Take
all the questions, all the stories I would have loved to take. Go ahead.
You know that all these kind of things used to suit me. So the Minister for Education, Malam Adamu, was speaking at the 66th National Council on Education in Abuja, and he says that most of the policies that they had for school to bring kids back to school were frustrated by state government's policies, putting them back home, and that he as minister was reminded that he's the longest serving minister on this administration, that he spent 8 years as minister for education. I said that until it was mentioned to him, he did not even think about it, that he was the longest or shortest. He never bothered about it. But as minister, he thinks that most of the myriads of issues they failed to achieve. And that statement, I failed to achieve all the expectations that were, people had of me. And that's one statement is what everybody has been quoting. But he was referring to the out-of-school kids situation. And then, of course, he expects, ASU people to go on and on. But he said something that I even think that, he's continuing to fail to see things properly or redefine things. He says that he believes strongly that sex education should be taken out of the school curriculum. It is counterproductive. It is not achieving anything. And so he's insisting on that particular move. Even that in itself shows that will bring people to attack him. Because personally, I don't even agree with that. I think at least the most basic of it should be allowed, but that is his view.
Interesting. These are things that we should talk about. I would love to talk about this.
And I would love to ask him
some arguments.
I'd like to have him.
And I would love to ask him why he thinks that sex education
president
is not
when
important.
built on this.
What I even want is that they need to bring, the education needs to go back to the local government. I mean, the fact the federal government, especially basic education, I mean, these are conversations we need to have, but not today. Continue with Daily Sun. So there was a story you had. Go ahead, please.
This is the presidential candidate for PDP, that's Atiku Abubakar, in an interview with Voice of America, Hausa, and he was talking about the crisis within his party. And he says that as for him, they have moved on, that the crisis concerning the demand by 5 governors being led by Wike for the resignation of AU is impossible right now because they're so close to election. It will make no sense to have a leadership change at this point. So for him, he's moved on, even on the back of the insistence that these governors have said that they are not going to be supporting him. But he also reiterated his commitment to fighting, the fight against insecurity that we have. He says also his administration will work closely with judiciary to make sure that, we get speedy injunctions, and also he's going to impose the death penalties for all those who are found to be wanting in terrorism and terrorist acts. Okay, so Ayo Adebanjo is still speaking, and I'm all over that story. He was in Lagos yesterday speaking at the public presentation of a book titled Challenges of Good Governance and Leadership in Nigeria, the Peter Obi Factor.
and he's insisting that Peter Obi must be president. According to him, he's saying the youth must brace up for the struggle to make sure that Peter Obi is made president, because he's not really impressed with all this they are singing and dancing that they're doing. That getting Peter Obi becoming president is not a tea party. It's going to take a lot of you coming out actually on that day to vote. I'm paraphrasing. I was insisting that for him to become president, that they are fighting a battle where the oppressors will do everything to stay in power. So he's telling the Nigerian youth not just to focus on the softer side of this issue, but should come out on that day to actually vote and not collect money from anybody, so that we don't continue to have the same cycle that we're having in politics.
All right, so I want to take the major headline, which is about the INEC, newly sworn in INEC officials. So we're 113 days to the elections, and 19 recs have been sworn in Abuja yesterday, and the INEC chairman read the Riot Act. Chairman Muhammadu Yakubu said that no INEC official should have any meeting with any governor within office hours or after office hours, except it is in the line of their activities with the right person, that their job is, their allegiance should be to Nigerians and providing free and fair elections, and not to their personal ambitions. So he also mentioned that there are the assignments of these 19 residents electoral commissioners is to understand the law as it pertains to them, familiarize themselves with their staff, and ensure everybody in the team knows what they're supposed to do and they follow through. That if meetings will take place with government officials, it should take place within the office hours with the right person within their team, not them. And because they need to be seen to be doing the right things. I think that this is extremely important. 2023 is too crucial for us to play around.
To say it. And I think there's nothing wrong in getting another 19 DSS officials monitoring this 19. It's easy now. We watch movies every day. Just get 19 DSS. We follow you every day.
We don't trust that it will be.
It is a suggestion. What is 19 DSS officials? Moving on quickly to the Vanguard. Afenifere Fast Priority recant says Adebanjo's acting leader. Insecurity policy somersault. Others threaten food security, says experts. With me, as president, you will get what is due to you, says Tinubu to Kogiites. Osho election petition tribunal accepts Beaver's reports alleging overvoting. Drug barons killing NDLA operatives. Marwa raises alarm. 2023 presidency opposition on same ticket fate stance, says PFN. Alleged incessant premature deaths. Ondo Monarch family members escape death as youths protest. Strike, ASU raises eyebrow over selective payment of medical lecturers' salaries. And Bayelsa not among 10 most flooded hit states, says federal government. Okay.
Let me take this story in Ondo State, Akure. So the traditional ruler of Ikun Akoko area of Ondo State, Onikun of Ikun, Oba Olokunbola Adejoye and his family escaped death when angry youths in the community attacked their home. The youth had gone a rampage saying that many of their promising sons and daughters have been, lost, that they died prematurely, and the blame is on their traditional ruler, that because since he ascended the seat 19 years ago, he came in as a born-again Christian and refused to perform some of the rites that he's meant to have performed as their traditional ruler, and so that's the cause of the death that they have been experiencing since he has been since he's been the traditional ruler. And so they burned some, I think they said generators in his home. Luckily, he was told ahead of time by some loyalists. That was how he was able to escape with his family. And also, he has a fuel station, and they burnt it down. He said that he's always prayed for his community, and he has brought a lot of development to that community. And, but the police have gone ahead to arrest some suspects, and it's really interesting.
This is a hot topic of
fantastic
religion
yes.
culture.
And culture.
No,
they did not kill the Obas.
No, it's a way to dethrone the king.
Yeah, when you run away without your
staff.
That.
So ASU and the Minister for Labour at it again. The Minister for Labour paid salaries to medical lecturers in the Usman Dafodio University in Sokoto, and his claim on a live TV show was that they have been working and that they've graduated medical students during the strike. ASU insists that even their VC did not confirm that fact, that all of them were on strike together. It's impossible and couldn't have happened, and that he's doing selective salary payment. You know that this half salary, full salary arrangement, and they're back and forth. But the Minister of Labour then went ahead and paid certain select. So they say that he's doing preferential treatment to his kind, his own people in his profession. And they're already calling on the president to curb his excesses. Even the ASU breakout group said their own members have not been paid. So they're just looking at the drama is enough.
Yes.
And Minister of Labour said, why is the man so dramatic?
Where is he, sir?
It is well.
Listen,
Please let me take the humanitarian.
Go ahead.
The humanitarian story about Bayelsa not being among the top 10 most flooded parts of Nigeria was in response by the minister the minister in charge of humanitarian resources to the PANDEF head, Edwin Clark. So Hajia Sadiya Farouk yesterday said that she was responding to what the elder statesman, I don't know, Edwin Clark said.
Edwin Clark.
So Pa Edwin Clark, I was looking for how to refer to him. Pa Edwin Clark mentioned that the humanitarian minister is not humane, that she was doing a good job of sharing food stuff during COVID-19, people locked at home. But most of Bayelsa is covered with water, and she hasn't showed up in Bayelsa State. So she replied that in the conversation that was a very, very wrong statement. Bayelsa is not the most affected area. Jigawa actually is the most affected state in terms of flooding. Bayelsa is not even among the top 10 in terms of states affected by flooding, and that she's doing the best she can with the resources that she has. She says that they said USAID. They said, I'm just quoting the newspaper. She said USAID had donated $1 million to America, to Nigeria, to the States. She has not gotten the funds. She explained that according to the NIMET report, they're trying to evacuate people from the areas where they've had issues, and they're doing it batch by batch. She spoke concerning the farmers. The farmers that have had issues should wait. They would get compensation, but there has to be a proper investigation.
We need to always work with the facts, the real data. Sometimes we just make general statements.
It's even more embarrassing when you're an office holder.
Yes.
And you just make statements without exactly stating data that's true.
But I'm happy that she's able to give us data on exactly what she has and what she's able to do. Let me just take a final story. The presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has assured the people of Kogi that he will ensure the state gets all is due to them. He was saying this in a speech that was delivered by Governor Yahya Bello of Kogi State. He donated about 100 million naira for the victims of flood, and says that he's assuring the people that they would occupy the right place in his administration and ensure that all is done with the state. So at least we have that from the candidate.